Welcome, everybody, to the Thursday Night Course in Miracles group. God bless you all. My name is Chris Green, and this is my lovely wife, the Reverend Reja Joy. Tonight, we are going to read the last part of chapter 12, The Problem of Guilt. We're going to read part 7, Attainment of Real World. So, like I said, that's the last part. New chapter starts tomorrow, chapter 13. So, woo, 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 woo. And we're going to read paragraphs 58 through 76. Some are one-liners, I guess that's what we call them. So if I call you and there's a couple of those small ones together, I'll read them off and tell you which ones to read. So tonight you might get more than one paragraph number. So plan accordingly. All right. If you would like to read, indicate so, and I will write down your name.
Charles.
Okay.
And Mark. Thank you, Mark. And Paula.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And Chika.
Chika.
Anyone? Oh, hi, Reverend Jerry.
Yes, hi. I'll read if you'd like.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Claiming. How about Barbara? Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Barbara. And Janet is left.
Yeah, I'll read. Yeah.
Oh, good. All right. We got everybody.
Yeah, cool.
We got everybody.
Okay, at this
All right.
time, would you please mute your microphones so we don't get any background noise during the meditation? Go ahead.
Oops.
I could say you're up, but that would be a baseball term, and I know that you don't know anything about baseball.
Okay. Okay, great. All right. So we will close our eyes and just begin to relax. And we know that this is the time when we just let go and surrender. We just take a few moments to begin to relax the body and let go of some of the stress we may be holding on to. You know, we have thoughts that are scary or we get angry or disappointed or mortified, whatever. And those thoughts get reflected in how our body reacts, and we may be holding on to some of that reaction. So if we just begin to relax, it's okay. We can let all of those thoughts go. Wipe the slate clean. We can begin to relax the body and let go because we say so. You know, it's our choice, our decision, what to think, what not to think, what to do, what not to do. And so we choose now, in these moments, to just be present, relax. Nowhere to go and nothing to do. We can accept also everything exactly as it is. We don't have to change anything. We don't have to judge. We can just be with it. I think when we do this, we feel peace. We might feel compassion, love, forgiveness, joy, gratitude. All of those things might come rushing in as we let go. So our bodies feel relaxed now. Our breath, if you notice, it's most likely calm. We have fewer thoughts now, fewer service thoughts. And we feel perhaps a togetherness because we are in this moment now together, joining, feeling that connection and that oneness. There's no accidents. We chose to be here with one another. And so next, We're going to open to our lesson for the day. We're in a review for the fourth review, and our lessons are prefaced with a beautiful thought. My mind holds only what I think with God. And he says this is a fact and represents the truth of what you are and what your Father is. It is this thought by which the Father gave creation to the Son, establishing the Son as co creator with himself. It is this thought which fully guarantees salvation to the Son. For in his mind no thoughts can dwell but those his Father shares. Lack of forgiveness blocks this thought from his awareness, yet it is forever true. My mind holds only what I think with God. And so our review is of two beautiful lessons. I thank my Father for his gifts to me. And let me remember I am one with God. And so we'll take this into our 2 minutes. I will begin timing us now if I remember, and I'll do it now. And I will bring us out. We'll start now. My mind holds only what I think with God. My mind holds only what I think with God. And when we're ready, we'll open our eyes. You know, just I just want to. Oh, hi, Jude. Hey, and Sandra,
Hey, everybody.
Ida. Yay! All these angels popped in. Just want to, if anyone wants me to put the reading up on the screen, let me know. Okay. Otherwise, I won't.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Ready?
Okay.
Okay, we're in chapter 12, The Problem of Guilt, part 7, Attainment of Real World, paragraphs 58 through 76. Charles, can you read 58 and 59? Sit quietly and look upon the world.
Sit quietly and look upon the world you see, and tell yourself, the real world is not like this. It has no buildings, and there are no streets where people walk alone and separate. There are no stores where people buy an endless list of things they do not need. It is not lit with artificial light, and night comes not upon it. There is no day that brightens and grows dim. There is no loss. Nothing is there but shines and shines forever. Okay. It's beyond my pay scale, but if it says so. uh, I'm complete.
Mhm.
All right. Thanks.
Mhm.
We went to a Course of Miracles conference. I think it was one of the ones in Las Vegas. And, uh, we don't always agree with Tony Ponchitella, but the theme of the conference was one of the sayings that talks about the real world. Can't remember what the saying is. It was the theme for the whole conference, all 4 days. And and I guess I'll just say it like his take on it was his definition, his description was that when Jesus was talking about world, the word world, that this paragraph is correct, that the real world is not roads, buildings, planes, boats, planes, shopping malls, stuff like that. That's not the world that Jesus would live in. He would live in the world that is the shine, that shines forever.
Mhm.
So sometimes people go down the rabbit hole and try to say, okay, well then this isn't the real world. It it is, but it is, but it isn't.
I know.
It is, but it isn't. Because if I say this is not the real world, I can't walk through that wall. I mean, that wall is a wall. I have to obey the laws of physics and go around it. I can't spread my atoms apart and walk through there and then recollect. It doesn't work. So in a sense, world. And just like Charles, it was like you read that and your mind's trying to run the math or do the algorithms or something to try and figure out, all right, well, exactly what are you talking about if that isn't the real world? Right? And it's everything that our spirit
Mhm.
works would prefer to be the real world. I think that's the way Tony was trying to get to it. So, and then right after that, he stripped down to his skivvies. So that was not good.
He was in Las Vegas,
Oh,
that's what they do in Las
oh.
Vegas.
That's what they do in Las
Not
Vegas.
supposed to leave Las Vegas.
Yeah, well, it should have stayed in Las Vegas. That's for damn sure.
Hi, Steve.
Too many cameras were pointing at that. Oh,
Steve joined us.
terrible.
Steve joined
In
us.
about 10 minutes, I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna hear Mickey Singer, an untethered soul guy. He lives near me. He talks Thursday nights.
Oh, you're fine.
So
Okay.
Excellent. How lucky for you.
You're fine.
That was a
I'm lucky because I'm lucky in millions of ways.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet.
Well, we're lucky because you're here and you're lucky. So you're the lucky
Yes, I share my luck.
for all of us. Just spread it around. Luck, 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 luck. Let's get to Charles. Go ahead. Now you have a comment?
No, yes, that
So your brain had to focus for a while, huh? Trying to get
well, I needed someone to save me, and you stepped in there in a big way.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
So
Thanks.
thank you. This is the time you got saved me,
Oh, cool.
because the real world is that of which we value comes from within us and shines onto everything we see.
Okay.
Oh,
So that really helped me clarify that. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay. All right. Sure.
thank you.
And like I said, I was repeating something that we heard in a seminar at a conference.
Mm.
because the theme was, I still can't,
Can't remember.
the theme had the word world.
It had love too, didn't it?
Yeah, and it had the word world in it. And it's one of the refrigerator magnet quotes. I can't remember which one it was, but Tony made an effort to explain what that quote was saying and what Jesus would have thought was the real world. But oh, all right. Jude, go ahead. You have a share?
Yeah. Yes, I think it's just something that happens with awakening to the light and the spirit within you, that um, the world is no longer perceived as the place where the light is. You know the light is within you, and you see through the transparency of the egoic thought system's values. And so that you look at things in a completely different way. You don't value things for their material value. You see, you no longer see things as needs or wants from the egoic perspective point of view. And um, it's a source of substantiating or validating your personal self. So that instinctive needs and wants
Oh, I thought you were going to bring it up.
loses its importance. And then the idea that the world isn't lit with artificial light, that you understand that the light comes from within you, even in the dark, that you're never blind. You can always see, even if your eyes are closed.
Oh,
You
okay.
have that inner illumination.
Hmm.
And that the fact that there is no loss, because you understand that everything is a part of you, and that you can't lose anything because nothing ever goes anywhere. It's always here and now.
Sure.
And what else? Oh, that people don't walk alone, because it the illusion of being in bodies and separate is no longer applicable.
All right. All right.
Really,
All right.
from the
Okay, folks,
perspective.
hang on, folks. Here's how anal we are. Show them, Joy. We have all of our badges hanging on a mirror from all the conferences we've been.
From like decades ago.
And one of them, I'm pretty sure, is
Yep,
going to
here it
be
is.
no.
Wait. It's
No,
wait.
that's not it. Nope, that's not it. Which one's that?
It's really good too. Change your mind, change
Change
the
the
world.
world.
Isn't that cool?
All right, change. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
change your mind, change your world.
Change your mind, change the world.
World, yeah. Because and what Tony was explaining was, if he gave us a different definition of what the word world was, then it made sense, because if you change your mind, if you change your perception, you will change the world. Your mind can't change a building from 10 stories to 20 stories or any of that stuff, but your mind can change your perception of what it is that you see, value, hear, touch, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that might help us a little bit better, because out of all the words in this book that are confusing is that one word world. Because I'll tell you what, this isn't the only paragraph, sentence, or whatever where the word world is used in that context. In other words, forget everything else. To me, the world means whatever your spirit is or values.
And I think the ego has a real huge attachment to the world, the world of the ego. And I know that there's a huge reaction when you say bad things about the world that the ego loves, knows very well,
Sure.
and cherishes and loves. And if you badmouth that, doesn't go over so well, and there's a lot of resistance, and people throw the book out, because
Yeah.
what are you saying,
Right. Right.
but
whole,
it's
I think that
Hmm?
might help a little bit.
the whole point of the course is seek not to change the world, but change how you see the world
your mind about the
Would,
world.
would be
through
changed.
the eyes of vision or spirit versus the perception of through the body's eyes.
Yep.
There
Okay.
he is, Reverend
All right.
Mark.
Oh, hi, Reverend Mark. All right. Go, Mark H. Go ahead. And you're off of mute, so just start talking.
I, I like, change your mind, change the world, and that's how I viewed this paragraph. That's how I rationalized it. Simply because, there are no streets where people. What does it say? There are no streets where people walk alone and separate. And sometimes I'm walking along and yeah, there's other people, but from time to time you see somebody, you smile at them and they smile back, and you don't say anything, but you're not alone, are you? Right? I'm alone if I want to be. uh but I mean, when I think about it, on a planet of 7.5 billion people, it's pretty hard to be alone. You really have to try hard, and I've got a lot of practice at it too, right? And the thing where, yeah, there are no stores where people buy endless lists of things they do not need. So for a long time, I was resentful at my wife for going to stores and buying stuff, and stuff is building up in this one room where we got piles and piles of stuff, and sometimes it goes to the Salvation Army, but she keeps on buying. And I'm thinking to myself, she's buying the stuff that she doesn't need, and this is how I perceived it. So I changed my mind about it, right? I says, this is an activity that she enjoys. So I can either look at it as, you know, what is she doing? Or, hey, she's doing something she enjoys. After all, I married her and told her I'd, help her enjoy her life, didn't I? I did say that.
For
So,
richer, for richer,
uh,
for poorer, for sickness and in health.
yeah, that too.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that too. Yeah.
so yeah, change your mind, change the world. And so the world is something that I perceive, and I can change my mind and about it, and it becomes different. No, yeah, the grass is still green, the wall is still a wall. But is the wall a barrier or something I can sit and enjoy? Which do I want it to be?
Absolutely.
I'm complete.
Well done, Mark. Well done. I think we're all kind of getting it. Sandra, go ahead. You've got to share.
Yeah, my understanding of this is that um, this is an evolutionary planet, and it's temporal. As soon as we think it's one way, it's going to change. It's the nature of the planet, but it's not our nature. Our nature is eternal, immortal. We never change. That's why we're having such a challenge being on this planet, being that in order to come here, we had to forget our true nature. And and we don't change. We're eternal, we're immortal, we're not bodies. So that's what I think, this is talking about, that I am pure awareness and I don't change. But this body does, and this experience is constantly changing. And it's the grokking is, how do I deal with that? Given that I'm having a body experience.
Take that down.
I'm complete.
Thanks, Sandra.
Thanks, Sandra.
All right, Steve, before you run off to your concert, what do you got?
Yes, regarding the world, I recently became aware of how much I have taken God and fit him into my life. I'm talking about that personal Steve. I'm talking about that personal world.
Hmm.
And even when I do like an affirmation, one of my favorites is, "Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no." There I am again, my personal self walking through it. I lie by the uh, tall grass, or by the he leadeth. What's that one? By the still waters. I'm still there. The problem's always been that personal self. And
Hmm.
I don't see it necessarily as a problem, but it noticing it compared to what Jude was talking about and what Sandra's talking about is that non-personal being world. Uh, so there's the world, and then there's the personal world.
Hmm.
And I don't think there's a way out of the personal world except to notice it and maybe wear it lightly. But damn if I don't try most of my life to put God into my understanding, rather me surrender to the greatness of God. I'm complete.
Thanks, Steve. Oh, that was good.
Mhm.
Barb.
Thank you.
I said Barb.
You did.
Barb, go ahead, Barb. Barb, not
I want to tell
Barb.
you how much
Barb, not go
I
ahead.
really love this paragraph.
Mhm.
And the reason I like it is that it gives you a picture to play with in your mind of something that's beyond our imagining right now. It's a forward looking thing, not back, not what we're losing. But the fact that it says there are no buildings, there are no streets, there are no stores. And instead of worrying about what we're losing or what we think we'll miss, what is it that the world will be like without these things? It won't be barren and empty because there are not those things. What are the wonderful things that will fill this world when there aren't buildings to look at, when there aren't stores to buy things in, when there aren't streets to take you wherever? And I just love that image. Just open up to the possibilities that are all there when we don't have these distractions, when we don't have these things that we think we're absolutely dependent upon and we would be lost without. What are the things in the real world what will it be like when these things are not there? I love it. I'm complete.
Thank you for that perspective, Barb. I didn't look at it that way. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. It helps.
And is it
Really cool.
obvious, or is it it doesn't say anything about people.
Mm.
It doesn't make the people not real.
Mhm.
I don't know, that's just something that I read into it, that it was listing things that are made out of steel and concrete and like I said, something that's solid, that kind of stuff. And it says that's not the real world. And I can look at that and go like, well, you're right, it's not the real world. Because what I like to develop is the part of me that doesn't really care if that's a wall or not. My spirit. What's the saying? I'm not a human being having a spiritual experience. I'm a spirit
having
having a
a
human
human
experience.
experience.
Okay. Steve, go ahead. Steve, go ahead. You got another share? Oops, I think he got in the.
No, I just didn't mean, I didn't put my hand down. It's
Oh, okay.
stuck. I'm in technique.
Okay.
Okay,
All
I
right.
gotcha.
All right. You got detention.
You're right.
You're messing up the master of ceremonies here. All right, Charles, go ahead. Jeez. Go ahead, Charles. You're on mute if you're talking. Oh, your lips aren't moving.
My lips aren't moving. I'm on mute. Okay. There
Okay.
we go. I just love what Barbara's sharing because it really helps me it gives it's like a vision. It's telling us what we're looking forward to at the end of this course as we there's one book I was read by the beautiful author says the way out is the way in.
Mm.
And as we close our eyes and start going within, this is the world we're going to discover. This is the world that we're going to realize. And as we get into that realization, it's just transitory. It just,
Hmm.
it's where we're all heading towards,
Hmm. Hmm.
every one of us. And wow, thanks, Barb.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. I'm complete.
So, if you think of that in the terms of your birth and your birth is your way in and your death is your way out.
You mean physical, your physical
Well,
death?
You don't have to
yeah,
have,
yeah.
you don't
I
have
mean,
to, you could be that.
when I'm born, I come into this body, and then I do stuff and do stuff, and then go out. And what I and like it's the old cliche is you can't take it with you. Well, the only thing you take with you is the love you have of well, the love you have. Just
Mhm.
leave it at that. The love you have.
Mhm.
And when you leave this body and and you will when you're there, well, see, this is all
You know
conjecture.
what?
This is all conjecture, but when you're there, God will know that you love him as unconditional as you possibly can.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And remember how we always say one of us goes before the other one, that it'll be like no time has passed when the other one does join, when
Yep.
when we
It
join one
ain't
another
20
again.
years apart or anything like that.
There's no time,
It-
in the eternal, of course. So
so
it won't have been a long time before we join again.
yeah.
We always say
In our marriage vows, we said, until death do us unite.
that.
Now, formalized religion will say that's the end of your marriage license.
Yeah.
Death do us part. And we
Yeah.
go like, no, we're not going to part when we're dead. We're going to unite. So,
Mhm.
and you'll be with all your loved ones, all your past relatives, all your past reincarnations. And that's if you believe in reincarnation. You'll see how many times you came down here and the stupid stuff you did.
And all your past exes as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your records will be open.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
Yeah. You'll be like an open book. There's another one. Jude, go ahead, save me. Oh, what you got? Jude, go ahead.
It's too late.
Oh no, come
No,
on.
I don't. You've already been saved, you fool. You don't need saving. You're already perfect.
Well, God bless you, June. I love you.
It's the truth.
It's the truth. You're right. No, it is the truth. Okay.
This paragraph, I like Barb. I ran wild with it since the first time I read the book 20 years ago. And I tried to imagine heaven. I tried to imagine limitless joy, undisturbable peace, what it's like to have real thoughts, to think only with the mind of God. What does it feel like not to be in a body, not to perceive through the body? I've given all these things considerable consideration, contemplation, meditation. And I understand what they're talking about because it's all in your mind. You think what you see is out there and then you see it. But it's what you see, it's what you extend. And if you extend only love, I see love and joy in everything all day. People think I'm crazy. I, I'm the same one. They're the ones that are crazy.
Absolutely. No, that's true.
But that's how it works. And that's what the Course taught me.
Yep.
So it is.
No, that's absolutely true.
Thanks, Jude.
In Catch 22, Yossarian hated flying. And he would go to the shrink and he would say he didn't want to fly anymore. And the shrink would say, okay, all you have to do is say you're crazy and then you don't have to fly. But if you say you're crazy, you're not crazy. But I agree with you. If you fly, you're crazy. That's catch 22. And that's a real article. That was I had a catch 22 in my Navy when I signed to swear in, there was a paragraph 22 that basically said that. We've told you anything we want to tell you to get you to be recruited. However, after you're recruited, we will put you wherever we want to put you. Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. Can
Yeah.
you imagine?
Well, that's what it does. I mean, it's
I
like
have an anxiety attack right there. I would lose it. I would go crazy.
you go crazy, honey. That drive's already done. If you're with me,
Oh,
you're crazy.
okay, I'm crazy.
Maybe crazy in love.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So maybe we should get a room or something and bring all these people for all these people. Paula, go ahead.
Save us.
Save us now. Good. Oh no.
Why can't we hear you?
I think your microphone might be on mute also. You got like a oh no, that's it. Nope, back again. There.
There.
We hear it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, you sent out an email this week referencing Jacob questioning AI about her feelings about our country and Trump. And AI's response is really what Jude is talking about. See it the way you want it.
Right.
Wait a minute. I don't know why I'm getting that message.
About English?
I've been doing this before going to bed at night. It gives you a little scenario to repeat. And it's very positive. And my God, it just makes me feel so uplifted. So you create this world and see it the way you want to see it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I think so. I
I'm
think,
done.
I think
So cool.
I think you're right, Paula, because
But thank you for sending that. I really appreciate it.
oh yeah.
Well, thanks,
yeah.
Jacob, for yeah.
But don't ask my opinion of AI because you don't want to hear it.
Okay.
But but Paula, you're right. I almost said
Barb, right?
Barb. But Paula, you're right. That's the way to view this because if you make that real, that's what drags you down spiritually. Because you're basically, I don't know, you're basically getting down to a level of perceptual reality. Is that a word? Perceptual reality? Something like that. That you don't want to be there. And it's painful. It's like a allergic reaction. And somebody said something the other day and I went, oh, well, 3 years, 10 months and a wake up, whatever. That's all. Well, it's the end of his term,
What?
See it because you believe it.
Yeah. See, yeah. Yeah.
What?
He's only
Let's
there
see that
4
dog.
years. So
Hold that dog up.
just look at, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
All right. 2 years, 10 months and a wake up. Because we used to call it, that's what when you were a short timer, it was 30 days and a wake up.
Oh.
29 days and a wake up. So just look at it that way. Well, whatever, it's going to change. It's not, it's like Jude said, it's temporal. It's going to change. He's not going to be there forever. Democracy will survive. I swear to God. Reverend Mark, would you like to share something?
Yeah, I just thought I really did enjoy that, Jacob, too, that AI, because I'm really kind of, rusty on that. I've not really gotten into it, but I thought, my gosh, this is more intelligent than most people. That was so interesting. I thought that was so interesting that it referenced Neville Goddard, who was just one of my idols.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, no wonder. And then it gave you a plan and what to do. And I thought, wow, that's kind of interesting, but still kind of complicated. So the ego's doing it, but at least I agree with what they're saying. So that was kind of interesting. The other thing that I wanted to bring up, because I love what Barbara said, because the Course tells us that love is not special.
Yeah.
It's not special. And so when we pass to the next dimension, what if the feelings you have for the partner you have in this life is with everyone? Do you want to just limit yourself down to one person? Because I'm not. I think that's amusing that people want to stay together forever. I thought, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Why? I mean, is it that idyllic? Or is it just that you have this thought that you want to stay together? Because God has said love is not special. So when we pass to the next dimension, we must feel the same way about everyone.
Okay.
So how would we differentiate? That's the ego, always differentiating and judging. Oh, well, this is a special person and this is not a special person. It's not. We're all one. And so I think that everybody loves everybody. And I think John Lennon had it right in his song, Imagine. No boundaries, no nothing. It was just all love. That's all it was. Give peace a chance. I thought he hit it, got it.
You got it. No heaven, no hell.
Yeah, there isn't any.
Nothing.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So to paraphrase,
No one left.
boy, do I
no one
want to
excluded.
paraphrase or not?
What?
So to paraphrase, when I die, it's going to be an orgy?
Well, if that's where your chakra is, the focus of your chakra is, yes.
Yeah.
But mine's kind of a little bit higher than that.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, you can focus on whichever chakra you want.
You're right.
That you want, that would be, I can't even imagine doing that. That doesn't sound like fun to me at all. That sounds like
I get it.
on plus.
I get it. I mean, spiritual level, the physical pleasure is nothing. It's like,
it's physical pleasure.
Yeah.
It's two bodies bumping together.
Right.
And I don't think we have bodies there. Hello.
I mean, if we were to actually understand everything there is after this life, our brain would explode. So basically, we've got a subset of what really, and and when you're talking about AI, and you want to ask it a question, ask AI to reply sarcastically and tell me what you get.
I think you might want to change that thought about your brain exploding, because the Christ consciousness does actually know everything. So if you actually reach into the Christ consciousness, I don't want to see your brains blowing out your ears. You may want to change that thought, Chris. Anyway, just a thought.
There you go. I've changed my mind.
There you go. That's funny.
Also, ask AI if it thinks AI is really artificial intelligence, and give me that answer too.
I think that your ego is getting very good at this.
Oh, tell me, buddy, after 50 years of coding programs,
yeah,
people are trying to tell me that this is AI. I'm going like, we got another century before we get to data.
Well, there is one phenomenal that I should just say, that the fact is that the brain that we have has the capacity of a computer the size of the Empire State Building. I think I'll stick with that.
Yeah.
Instead of some little digital thing on a chip.
Nothing they put on a chip can beat our nano.
That's right. That thing can beat the brain.
Not even close. In fact, in the past, they have taken cadavers and tried to use the brain as the memory or the RAM for a computer. And
we just have to get past the 10% they say we use. We could try to maybe have 50% or even more.
Mark, I think that might just be an urban legend, because who measured it?
Yeah, it's true.
Did he measure 10% with his 10%?
Yeah, exactly. That's probably
it's impossible.
True.
It's impossible. All right, we're way off topic.
Really. Get it to Jacob. Go to Jacob.
Save me.
I have totally forgotten what I was going to say.
I'm sorry.
It just went, whew. No, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I didn't forget it, but I'm not sure that it's going to be germane. I don't think it's going to
use 11% of your brain and remember.
Neville.
Let me see. Let me try to pull something back here. I loved what you just said, Mark, about that, about the specialness and the ego and the, and the separateness of, really loving someone and wanting to be with them on the other side.
Right.
And wouldn't it be just incredibly marvelous if we could just here and now feel that togetherness with everybody, as far as they are the divine consciousness.
Exactly.
I am the divine consciousness, the same divine consciousness.
It's all
And,
one.
and it's really hard because, okay, I'm sorry, but I just can't get past this that, my existence has been sensational. You know what I mean? Like sensations and perception and black and white and, hard and strong and things end and things begin, and you know what I mean? They have form, and it's difficult, but I think it's worth it anyway. And maybe we maybe unless we sit on a hill somewhere for about 20 years, maybe we won't get there, and it's okay if in every moment we pull back, and I mean every moment, if we can, as often as we can, to pull back and know who we are, because then we see, because all this is coming into us. This reality, this 3D is all happening within us. We're the only thing happening. And that is very difficult and in saying that, maybe I'm inching closer to that unity of all, you see, but and it's absolute non-duality, which is really hard for the thinking mind to grasp. But I think in the moment to moment blossoming of consciousness, there is space to know that. And I'll leave it there.
Excellent. Very cool.
Beautiful.
What helps me is, and we did, like Mark just said, the 10% thing. What helps me is that I can use the word brain and I can use the word mind separately because mind is I've lost what it. Well, mind can be everything. My brain is only so big, and my brain is what processes this real world. My mind doesn't process that. My mind perceives it, but my brain my eyes, ears, mouth, all that stuff is run by my brain, not my mind. So that always kind of helps me. Oh, that was today?
Yeah.
My mind holds only what I think with God. What a realization. Praise Jesus. Jude, once again, you have to save me, Jude.
Really, this is very important to me. And I don't value anything more than that. To know who I am and to say those sacred words, I am. I am the light that sees everything and knows everything as myself. And that simplicity and the beauty of it, that I can look and know my eyes are God's, that my entire being, when I sense with the whole of me, it's not just through my eyes, differentiating things by my sight, or differentiating things by my differentiating things by the taste or the touch or the feelings, the thoughts, the feelings, the interpretations, they're all fragments of it. To realize the complete wholeness of the embrace and welcoming it all as one. And really just, putting your whole being around it. And that kind of open-mindedness and open-heartedness and love for it all, no matter what appears and disappears in the temporal and the space of appearances and what seems to be.
Cool.
That it's all within us. There is nothing outside of us. Nothing. That's the perception of the ego. The perceiver perceives something as other than me. That's separation in a nutshell. So I'm in total contact with everything in my environment all the time. And that contact is love. That's the world loving me, God loving me. Everything's loving me every single day.
That's perfect.
Bring it on.
I remember the book I Am, and when he got to the end of the book, he dropped the am.
I.
I. So
Everything.
I would debate you could skip the I, you could just go. Well,
I.
really, why do I need a word to describe that?
There are no words.
There are no words.
It's twice removed.
Absolutely.
From
Yeah. I would say the closest word that I've ever heard that actually describes that is namaste. Because the English version of that is not really what namaste means to somebody from India.
Right.
Well, that's bowing to everything.
Yes, yes, absolutely. That is not a greeting like hello, goodbye. Namaste is not a greeting like that. Namaste is, and the English is,
the love and light in me greets and honors and acknowledges the love and light in you.
Okay. So that has nothing to do with the physical world whatsoever. It's not, hi, how are you? Good to see you. It's, I recognize you at the spiritual level. So that's the closest word I've ever heard that gets to that. Now I've only had exposure to 6 or 7 or 8 foreign languages, but that's the closest one I've ever heard at all. Okay, Mark.
Just a quick one. Today's lesson says it all, Jake. I thought that was real interesting. What you just said, how can I keep remembering that I'm one with God? And Jesus told us in Matthew, he said, I think it was Matthew. Anyway, he said, you far greater miracles and things can happen for you because I've gone to the Father. In other words, what today's lesson is, let me remember I am one with love or God. And we need to do that every second until our brains finally get it. Because the ego is always like, no, you're not. No, you're not. You need something over here. No, you got to go over there. What about over here? It's like one of the other things that I love this morning in my meditation is the Holy Spirit said to me, the second thing that we're supposed to remember today is I thank my Father for his many gifts. But it said, what you need to say is, I thank my Father for his many continuing miracles.
Oh,
what a difference.
That's cool.
Because I'm having all sorts of miracles with this house I'm building. All sorts of things have just been like showing up, doing this. And I'm thinking, thank you, God. Thank you, God. I just stay in gratitude. So I think my mind holds only what I think with God, with my brain. The brain is the problem. It's always got some little calculation thing.
Yeah. Well,
anyway, that's just my comment.
Yeah, you can take it down to the very minute action of breathing. Every breath is a miracle.
It is really.
You take in air, and your lungs separate out the oxygen from that air, and then your lungs give the blood those O2 modules, and then the blood goes and sends oxygen and sugar nutrients to every cell in your body.
Yeah.
Which is what, 60 trillion cells or something like that?
Kind of a miracle.
Yeah. So every breath and every exhale is a miracle. So what? Okay. Mark, you're up. Can you read 60? We've got some great shares going here. So
yeah.
Obviously,
I'm happy to read. Is Mark? Is he the reading or I'm reading?
No, it's you, Reverend Mark.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, that helps me with it. I just need to do a screen share because my book's gone.
Okay. All right. Screen share.
Wait.
And it's the world you see must be denied.
It was Mark.
That says Reverend Mark.
It says Reverend, but Mark raised.
It's okay. I don't care. I don't care.
Oh,
I wasn't here, so it's okay.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
So I just need the screen share if you can, whoever's doing it.
Sure.
Maybe we could do a Mark duet.
That's why there's so many Marks. That's why I tell people just call me Rev Mark because there's millions of Marks now. When I was raised, there wasn't a Mark anywhere. Now they're everywhere.
I saw a lot of marks on trees and buildings and roads.
So what lesson are we, Rev Joy? Where are we? What lesson? The world you see? Is that it? Or the real world?
Yeah, it's 60.
It's 60. Okay. So the world you see must be denied, for sight of it is costing you a different kind of vision. You cannot see both worlds, for each of them involves a different kind of seeing and depends on what you cherish. The sight of one is possible because you have denied the other. Both are not true, yet either one will seem as real to you as the amount to which you hold it dear. And yet their power is not the same because their real attraction to you is unequal. Well, I totally can get that, but I have to say that my ego grabs me all the time and tells me how real the real world, how the real world is outside of us. So that's why, for me, I'm just sharing that. For me, meditation is so valuable because that feeling that I know from inside can't be denied. It's real. But the out can be because it changes every 30 seconds. Every time you grab onto something, then it goes to something else, and then the next thing and the next thing. It's kind of like on the internet when you go on one site and you end up some other place. You think, how did I get here?
Oh, yeah.
That's the ego. That's the total ego.
Sure.
So the real world can't be denied because that's what we really live in, but we're in the perceptual world of senses. So I'm happy to be in heaven most of the time, but I still get caught up in hell, I call it. I call it the experience of hell. Anyway, that's my share on that. I'm complete.
Thanks. Thanks. That's cool. All right. Okay. All right. Well, let's try to get another paragraph in. 61. Paula, can you read for us? 61. You do not really want the world you see.
Yeah, Paul.
Well, these are real zingers, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Mark, you want to read the next one?
Mark Hansen.
Yeah, you can read 62. Let Paula go ahead, read 61.
Okay.
All right.
You do not really want the world you see, for it has disappointed you since time began. The homes you build have never sheltered you. The roads you made have led you nowhere, and no city that you built has withstood the crumbling assault of time. Nothing you made but has the mark of death upon it. Hold it not dear, for it is old and tired and ready to return to dust, even as you made it. This aching world has not the power to touch the living world at all. You could not give it that. And so, although you turn in sadness from it, you cannot find in it the road that leads away from it into another world. Yeah.
Wow.
You know, I paint a lot. I'm an artist. And when I'm doing that, yesterday we were in this little area right by the ocean. I was in heaven. I'm not kidding. I was in heaven.
Hmm.
It was a very windy day, but yet we were sheltered by the surrounding trees. And I was with other artists and we're painting outside. And I didn't want to go home. I mean, I could have stayed there forever. Now it's been raining for 2 days, so I'm back inside. But when I'm painting, I'm in heaven. I'm not hungry. Nothing bothers me. I'm hungry all the time. But when I'm painting, I don't eat.
Wow.
I should just keep painting.
Yeah, that is cool.
I think anything that you love to do, just that little dog of yours. I think dogs are really the answer. They are a piece of heaven. They are literally DOG. It's God. I mean, it's God
Exactly.
right there. They don't judge us. They just love us unconditionally. So I'm complete.
No,
Get a dog.
no, I agree.
Show me the dog. You had her on your lap
Oh, yeah,
before. Where
where's
did she
Shelley?
go?
She's over there sleeping.
Yeah, pick her up. What the hell? She's a dog. She'll fall back to sleep. Pick her up. Bring her over. And you're absolutely right. DOG, that's why dogs aren't doctors because cats can.
Look at that face.
What? What? You're not going to let me have that punchline? Come on, folks.
Come on.
You
Look
know,
at that face. That's just adorable.
that's why
That's a
dogs
furry
aren't
piece of
doctors,
heaven right
because
there.
cats it's not called a dog scan. It's a Gemma. I love you. I love you, Daddy. Oh shit, that's on a recording, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, great. And I said shit. Oh, now I've said it.
You really stepped in it.
Well, I'm in. Yeah.
Mhm.
God, I love you. I love these people. I love the freedom that we have on Thursday night from 6:30 to 7:45. Um, okay, Mark, the other Mark, can you read 62?
Yet the real world has the power to touch you even here because you love it. And what you call with love will come to you. Love always answers. Being unable to deny a call for help or not to hear the cries of pain that rise to it from every part of this strange world you have made but do not want. The only effort you need to make to give this world away in glad exchange for what you did not make is willingness to learn the one you made is false. And I know it's you know, sometimes right around now, this of course is a little coming a little hard for me because I got some pretty nasty pain that's going, and I'm thinking to myself, let's see, how did that get there? What form of guilt did I have that allowed the sickness to take hold? But in any event, the world that I made is false, right? What I expected it to be, didn't do me any good, right? Reality is a great place to be because it's full of joy. And so like I said, the world that I perceive, my wife spending money and getting all kinds of things, and I'm getting resentful. That was false. That was false. The real world was where she's doing something that she enjoys. And as a result of her enjoying it, I can too. That's the real world. So the world that I made, the world that I perceived, was a judgment that is false, right? It tells us that our judgments blind us to reality.
Sure.
And the reality is this is a situation that's full of love if I choose to see it and relinquish my judgment on what it is that I see.
Mhm.
So I'll keep coming here. I'll keep doing the course because somewhere along the line, I let some guilt in there, and I got some changing to do. I still have to see medical help for the pain and get a little medical magic, but in the meantime, I can change my ways and not let it in the first place. I'm complete.
Cool. That's cool. That is true. Yeah. What did I say to you the other day when you left for shopping?
Oh, yeah. Spend a lot of money.
Go spend a lot of money, have fun, buy a lot of stuff and bring it back. The house is big enough to store more stuff. Like George Carlin says, you only get a bigger house because you get more stuff. He was a sweet guy. Had some great dead jokes, and then he died. Yeah, yeah. So, Charles, go ahead. You have a share?
Yes, thank you. What jumped out at me in the paragraph was the last sentence. Make is willingness to learn the one you made is false. It's not asking us to discover the real world, but it's discovering the falsity of the one we made. And I'd like to think of it as a make-believe, because I think Wayne Dyer says you'll see it when you believe it. So therefore, everything I see is because of what I believe. So I live in a make-believe world. And it's make-believe is a false world because it's based upon a belief. And belief is basically a false version of the truth, which is beyond belief. So if I ask God to show me things that are beyond my belief, I'll get a whole bunch of ahas coming at me, sort of to break my belief system that I'm holding.
Sweet.
But that will sort of give me the, oh, I prefer this rather than my make believe. I prefer this rather than my make believe. Then I have a better way of letting go of my false, because I truly believe that I'm guilty, or I have pain and I've done something to create this pain, or I've done so. I really have a strong belief that I've invested into about all the things that I'm experiencing. I'm responsible for all the things that I experience. And God says, no, you're not. But unless you ask to see it as being false, your belief system will make it real to you.
Wow.
And that's what the Course asks us to do, is to ask to see the world that we made as being false. And so the Holy Spirit will hold up the real world while you ask to see the false world as being false. So anyways, thank you. I thought I'd share that.
So belief in the false, or if you believe in false beliefs, that's where guilt comes from, right? That's what Mark was.
All belief is false because belief is about something.
Right.
Direct knowing is when you have a direct experience. You don't have to have belief. You have a direct experience.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But when you believe about something,
Yeah.
and then it becomes a belief because everyone has their own version of what that is.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I can't even speak for Joy, but the reason why I'm not still a devout Catholic is I couldn't make the ends meet. I couldn't read it out loud and then say, okay, that's true. That's all true. I mean, everything that the Bible says in the New Testament, not the Old Testament, because that's the Jewish books. Those are not Christian. Those are Jewish books that were cherry picked in order to write the New Testament to prove that what's in the Old Testament is true. Does that make sense?
Belief never makes sense.
Well, no, that's right. Right.
That's right. You're right. Yeah.
Right. Maybe Reverend Jerry.
I have a special request.
Yeah, maybe Reverend Jerry can weigh in here because you might be more.
No, not on the Old Testament. I just wanted to make sure I got a chance. I'm going to be reading. I volunteered somewhere to read something.
Yes.
I just want to make sure, it's a request, that we not run out of time until at least I can read my paragraph. That's all. Okay.
Okay. Well,
that's all.
You're next. You're up for 63. Can you do that?
Well, yes, I would love to.
You're next.
All right. Can you read paragraph 63? Jerry, you have been wrong.
You have been wrong about the world because you have misjudged yourself. From such a twisted reference point, what could you see? All vision starts with the perceiver, who judges what is true and what is false. And what he judges false, he does not see. You who would judge reality cannot see it, for whenever judgment enters, reality has slipped away. The out of mind is out of sight, because what is denied is there but is not recognized. Christ is still there, although you know him not. His being does not depend upon your recognition. He lives within you in the quiet present and waits for you to leave the past behind and enter into the world he holds out to you in love.
Beautiful.
Again, we're talking about level confusion. My perception focuses at a state of awareness at the world in the body. And that is level confusion that leads to or reinforces the idea of separation, both from my true self and from the true self and the Father. So, I have to make the decision to be in the right mind again, the Christ mind, the vision, not the bodily eyes, and return to the level that Christ is offering as the real world, the borderland, the place where just outside the gates to heaven, which would be a disappearance of all bodily identification. But, the borderland is the real world. It's all love. It's all a union, not of bodies, but of right minds, Christ minds. And, that's, always the case, regardless of the dream I may be dreaming that says otherwise. Dreams are not true. Pictures in dreams are not reality. They're pictures in a dream. Mm. And when I, as the dreamer, wake up, all those pictures, as was referenced earlier in the reading, they disappear. There's no permanence to it. And the only thing that's true is permanence, immortality, Christ and God. And that's the only reality. So, there's a way out of the fear, and that is to love through forgiveness of that which never occurred, which has no power, which has no cause or effect, and has no form. That is all false. And so that's the attainment of the real world, just a willingness to surrender my insistence that my dream is real. And the dreamer of the dream, yes, that is real. Absolutely. The dreamer of the dream is real, but it ain't me. It's not this identity with my history. Right. And my DNA and my psychology and, my story. Right. None of that is true. And I appreciate the chance to speak a little bit on the level confusion, because that is what I stumble on all the time. Making the world and the body level real and feeling so depressed and so dejected over nothing. And it's so great to be in, a class like this and remember that this need not be. I can always be restored to a right-minded sanity, and that is home. And I needn't be depressed or dejected or to judge my brothers and sisters. I mean, when I judge another, what do we say? As I think of another, I think of myself. As I act towards another, I'm acting towards myself. So it's self-destructive. Cool. Anyway, I'll pass, and thanks for the opportunity.
Oh, that was great. Thank you. Thanks for reading, and you always manage to talk me down off the roof.
Okay, well, good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad. Thank you.
Yeah. Let's see. What do we got on time? Oh, we're just
right
at it.
To say, Reverend Jerry, too, is that your share epitomized the poem that I chose for tonight. So it's amazing.
Sweet. Cool.
Thank you.
But yeah, almost.
I mean,
every Thursday night, your poem is always spot on.
I don't.
And you pick it before we start, so you're not picking it based on what we said.
No, because it's the next one on the page. Basically.
Well,
I mean, it's like.
Oh, all right.
Right.
All right. Well, maybe you should take the book and then just let it open up.
Oh,
that's Actually, that's not even random. They've proved that even that is not random. In fact, they proved that computers cannot randomly select anything.
Wow.
Not even Powerball numbers.
Wow.
Do we want to squeeze
I
one
don't know.
more
What do
in,
you
or do we
think?
want?
What do you think,
Well, it's
Liz?
already. I got 7:46 on the clock here.
Mhm.
So, thank
Okay.
you everybody for all your great shares. So we're going to close with a
I'll do it.
well, yeah, we're going to close with.
Wait, guys, wait 1 second. You
Oh,
know what I would suggest? Because I looked ahead a little bit, I would suggest that we all, when we get off or whenever we have the time, to finish this section because, oh my God. And that's all I want to say.
no,
Oh.
yeah.
OMG,
Yeah.
really. I think it'll just touch our hearts. So I just wanted to throw
Well,
that out
that's true. That's true. Our Thursday night call format is not to try and read the whole assignment.
there. Yeah.
We run it based off of the shares. Some nights we finish, some nights we don't.
Yeah.
There's a couple of Thursday nights where we only got through two paragraphs.
Almost tonight.
But the shares were awesome though. See, that's
Mm-hmm.
that's what we're really here for, is for you guys to open your souls up and put them on camera, and from 6:30 to 7:45, whatever time zone you're in. That's why we hold this thing open.
And I just scrolled down, Jessica, it says
Yeah.
at 73, the Holy Spirit leads me unto Christ, and where else would I go? What need have I but to awaken him? I actually framed that. Once upon a time. It's in the,
Oh, no, I think that's it. Isn't that in the master bedroom?
I think, yeah, either there or down here,
Or down-
someplace. I have
down
to.
somewhere.
And the end of 66 says, your one reality was given you, and by it, God created you as one with Him.
That's what gets
Beautiful.
me. Heaven
Oh,
is my
66,
reality,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
What, Tootie?
I said that's what really gets me. Heaven is my reality, and I'm unaware of it. I'm like, there's something really wrong here.
I know.
Oh,
That
it's
sentence
very
talks
much
directly to Mark, because that's what Mark is really doing. He knows heaven is the
is here.
real
And
world, and he struggles with saying, no, that's not it. I want to take this nail and hammer it through my hand. I don't want to be in heaven. Like Jerry said, I'm the hammer. Bam, 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 bam. All right.
Okay.
Let's
Thanks, everybody. This
Thanks,
was
everybody.
I really enjoyed it. How about Jacob? She'll text me and say, I really enjoyed tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're going to get a text.
And I've actually said this before. We have followers on our on our recordings. We have people that watch these recordings that never come on Thursday night. And we get emails from them, so we know they're there, and we can see how many times these recordings are watched. And sometimes it's over 100 times per on some of them. So I know it's not the 8 or 9 of you guys watching it 10 times each. I mean, we're not doing this for likes, okay? We don't.
I actually have.
Yeah.
I have a friend that I'm going to send this video to.
All right. I mean, we don't sell merchandise down the right side there. You don't see something pop up and click on it. There's no clickbait involved. We're just pure spirit, talking through physical form. Amen.
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 Well, so here we go. It's a short one. So we'll close our eyes and we'll imagine, that we're holding hands. We've formed a circle, and we feel that connection with one another, because we've chosen to be here with one another in this moment of now. And it's a really holy instant. And so from that place, our holy minds will take in this beautiful poem from Helen. And she called it Identity. Be still an instant. Draw aside the veil. Look beyond seeming. Here, there is a place, a borderland between perception and the certain knowledge of the mind of God. Here do they meet and blend an instant more, until perception fades and disappears, and only the eternal still remains. Forgiveness has removed all else but him, and therefore There is nothing else but you. I got chills.
Whoa.
So it is.
Oh, God.
Amen.
I went there. Oh my God. Yes. That was so freaking cool. It's not even. Oh God. That is cool.
Yeah. Okay.
God bless you all. We love you.
Thank
We
you.
love you. We
Thank you.
appreciate
Good
you.
evening.
Please be safe. Please be kind to others.
And next week, Janet and
Eat
Barbara
healthy.
will be on the top of the list for reading.
Oh, okay. All right, I can do that.
Okay.
I'll hard code those onto
Write it on there.
my list.
Okay, sorry,
So,
guys.
so I'll hard code it.
Jacob.
Yeah,
And Jacob.
and
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for all the shares. They were
Right.
wonderful.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
I might even watch this
I
recording.
know.
I could get an Oscar for this. These are documentaries. I could get an Oscar for a documentary. Nothing like going in the wrong real world, right? Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
I could
Bye.
be Greta Garbo.